Pull over.
No.
There's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
And I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish.
Welcome back to another episode of J Tally Reacts, bringing you the highest vibrations on YouTube. I got a dope video lined up for you guys today as we dive into 3 amazing men who tragically lost their life exposing something they saw. If you're new to J Tally Reacts, we're decoding the simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. Other than that, let's jump into the first clip. And just a heads up, we had a slight audio issue on this episode, so it's not a major deal, but I wanted to let you know in advance. I'm aware of the problem, and it has been corrected. But I wanted to get this content out to you, so we just decided to let it slide this time. Imagine one day you're driving through the Canadian Rockies when you see something you really can't explain. You see a giant humanoid figure standing on top of a mountain. You upload it to TikTok, and days later, you're internet famous with millions of views. Well, this is the story of Andrew Dawson.
What is it?
It's a person, dude.
That's a giant.
Seriously, pull over, pull over.
That's a giant, bro.
No.
There's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, have you seen what I've seen right now? So the video is blowing up. A lot of you say I have Parkinson's, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to go closer and find a better angle.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah. Or somebody can rent me a helicopter and I'll
I
try to
read the
find
comments.
it. Or maybe blow the videos up and maybe I can get sponsored. A helicopter company can sponsor me to go up there.
Yeah, the right idea.
But I'll try to hold the camera better. Okay? You try to hold the camera.
He's mad.
We're going to go find somewhere closer. And I'm going to set my camera on something so you guys aren't complaining how shaky it is in the truck. Because, yeah, internet has no chill.
That hella got to him.
Going to. But we're just going to try to get closer.
So that's new. That wasn't there before.
What?
It's a quick clip, but that definitely wasn't there before.
That was not there yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna use this as a tripod to try to keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too. That's where it was yesterday. I spoke to some locals and it comes and goes apparently. I don't know. See, that's me trying to keep it super steady with something. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to keep it steady with zoomed in all the way?
So I just went through all his TikToks, his most recent ones.
The guy's here again.
But this one's important. Watch this. He goes up there at night.
Yeah, this is him. What's going on?
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just turn around, please.
Okay. Have a good night, man. So that was fucked up. There he is. I'm driving past him again. Just turned around. I don't understand why it's closed off though. It's a fucking public park.
So remember that car?
Public road or whatever.
It was like a Dodge Challenger. Because that's going to play later. They obviously wanted to follow him after this.
I just got stopped by like some CIA agent. He told me to turn around, said I'm trespassing. I said it's a public area, like a public park or whatever. Some local told me to take this path. I didn't get it on camera, but I'm going to go again tomorrow and be prepared to be filming right now because he stopped the vehicle. His truck was blocking it. Said some like environmental issue was going on. I don't know. He told me to go back and said I was trespassing. I don't get it. It was awkward, but I'm going back again tomorrow to see if he's not there. But if he is there, I will keep camera. I will film because the only angle I could get that I found today is the one I just posted earlier, and there wasn't even anything there. But I don't understand why the road's blocked off.
Now, I know CIA operates everywhere, but it's weird he said CIA because he's Canadian. This is all taking place in Canada.
So they're extracting something out of here. There's 2 helicopters. What the fuck? So they're extracting something out of here. There's 2 helicopters. I think that's the same vehicle from...
It is the same vehicle.
Hey!
I don't know why a CIA agent would have like an exhaust like that though. That part doesn't make sense to me, but we've seen weirder on this channel.
Hey guys, I just want to give you an update. I'm not dead. I have not disappeared. I have just been busy with life. I couldn't get around to posting and updating you guys, so now I'm going to give you an official update of what's been going on. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos...
Pause. Why is he looking left like that? Why are his hands in his pockets like that? Every other video, he's looked super chill, but as soon as he saw the car out front of his house, he posted this video directly after that. Hands in his pockets, looks very uneasy. He's looking off to the left like he's asking for direction. Tell me I'm wrong.
That I post, all the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I just needed to give you a quick update.
And then this happens.
You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
Now that was the last post we ever saw from Andrew Dawson because he died of an apparent drug overdose. Write out the playbook, people. I believe Andrew Dawson, and rest in peace to him and blessings to his family. I do all this out of respect to keep his message alive. Make sure he died for a purpose. Let's jump into the next conspiracy theorist who allegedly found an underground alien base and was attacked. Not only that, he's called a lot of things that have happened recently in the 90s. This is Phil Schneider. Here we go.
I was lowered down the basket of one of these holes, and I saw a 7-foot-tall alien gray. The stench was worse than the worst garbage can you can imagine. I reached for my pistol, and I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal, and they do die. In the process, one of them just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish. Burnt my fingers right off of me, and there was a green beret that was right behind me. He shoved me back in the dash and hit the button and took me up. He died, and I wouldn't be alive talking to you today. I'm forever indebted. 66 Secret Service agents, Green Berets, Black Berets, lost their lives because the government lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat.
Phil Schneider is by far one of the craziest alien stories ever.
And all these kinds of things. First of all, well, these are the hoarding anything will be outlawed. If you hoard food, have a radio, any way of communicating, stash gasoline, these kind of things, you'll just be rounded up and that'll be the end of you. martial law is martial law. Martial law is dictatorship of the worst form, or one of the worst forms. And her other part of the question, if I got it right, was when's the alien takeover? Well, the alien takeover right now is, and probably will be for probably the next 20, maybe 30, 40 years, will be basically in the background. The idea is to get the one world beast-like government order in place, and to thin out the population of the planet. And then, of course, then all heck will break loose from then on. And whether it is, I don't often mix Bible and talk, but some people have alerted, well, this is already mentioned in the Bible, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. Well, that may be, but all I can tell you is I've been face to face with one of these sinister characters, or a couple of them, saying the least, and most people would, just the shock of them seeing such a thing would cause them to not be in a very healthy frame of mind, as physical as well as mental. Well, these are the benevolent aliens, and they've been here helping us. In fact, I have a picture, let me reach for it here. I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant Thor. He's right here. There's my father in the background. This whole place, the ready room of the USS Eldridge, Al Bielek has probably explained, or maybe even shown you this picture. There's a list of some of the notable people in it. They're all the atomic bomb scientists of the day, all the time variant experimentalists of the day, all the top physicists of that particular day. This was in August of 1943. Now this guy has not changed one iota in 58 years. Started work, he came here, crashed here or whatever, whether he's under duress or not. He started work for our U.S. Navy and military operations in 1930.
Yo, so did he not change because he's an alien? Like, obviously, right? But do aliens live longer? That's my point. Like, he crash landed here. He's an alien. He's been helping our government. He's benevolent. Is he like they say the Anunnaki, like the Anunnaki's king's list, Sumerian king's list, like they lived like for thousands of years. Is this dude like a relative of them? What's going on here? Valiant Thor. His name's Thor. Is this where they got, and he's blonde if you look at the picture. Like, is this where they got the concept from Thor? Stan Lee was up on some stuff. So it's like maybe Stan Lee met Valiant Thor and really like modeled Thor after him. It's possible. Let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, and by the way, smash that subscribe.
Either 37 or 38 is what I've been told. So it's for 58 years, this man's been employed, probably under duress. If you don't do as we say, we're just going to use you for alien bait or something. I don't know. Ooh. But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now, he's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity, 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ, if you were to measure it, be totally off the scale, be about a 1200 IQ. He speaks 100 languages fluently, alien as well as others. Damn! He's a remarkable person. I had a chance to meet him one time. Now, by the way, he doesn't shake hands. He was kind of in a spacesuit, because all aliens, regardless benevolent or otherwise, they're carrying germs and diseases and bacterium in and on them that are deadly to us. If I were making policy, I'd quarantine them all, because how do we not know that some of our diseases like AIDS, Ebola, hantavirus, and a few of these other weird designer diseases, as I call them, are not made from the cadavers of some of these aliens?
Pause. Damn, hantavirus been around for a minute, yo. Like, he's talking about hantavirus, and this is like the 90s, man. Like, they just be recycling these viruses. How have they not, like, bro, I don't even want to get into it. Here we go.
As a biological weapon to use against the people of the United States. Well, I'm a tired American speaking out.
What? What? Yo, props to Phil Schneider. This dude was a beast. I mean, if you haven't looked into him, I'm going to give you some game today, but you really, really need to do your own research, okay?
The New World Order right now basically is dismantling countries, governments, telling governments not to war with each other anymore, basically, so that looks good on the outset. They're taking their orders directly from the aliens who've got their own timetable. They want the one world order because they want the planet for themselves. And, of course, you've often heard of the term Global 2000, and that's a supposed sinister plot, or has been a group of sinister plots to produce biological weaponry to reduce or thin out a so-called ethnic cleanse the population of the planet by 5/6, or roughly 5 of 6 billion people, enslaving the rest to work willy-nilly with the so-called people of the New World Order. Now, another peculiar thing is the alien agenda is not really well believed nor understood by a lot of these one-worlders. They don't believe it. They think they've been singled out for their own end of glory, and what they don't know is they're just another human being, and according to the negative or bad aliens, they're just another, we're considered bags of food to them. They don't eat us like we think of a cannibal eating a hunk of meat, but they use our glandular secretions as part of their food base, their blood and our gland.
Pause. We've heard about this before, that loosh. They eat the loosh energy, which is really hard for me to get behind and understand. I know it's real, but it's like loosh, the word throws me off. And they eat our energy, like they eat our fear. But he was saying this way back then, and now it's kind of common knowledge.
Secretions like adrenochrome and other kinds of things like this. And in fact, the Atlanta Center for Disease Control has figured out ways that we can combat this and all this kind of thing like that. It might be where these new designer diseases like AIDS and Ebola and hantavirus and all these kinds of things have come up out of nowhere, and these diseases, end quote, almost have a mind of their own.
Damn, that was him? Wow, what did they do to him?
One of the examples that he talked to me about was in Colorado, where he went down into granite. And so they're blasting down into granite, and suddenly they came to a cavity that shouldn't have been there. So they went down to explore what was going on, what this cavity was, and it turned out to have in it a UFO and an alien body. Now, this had occurred so long ago that there was actually like quartz that had formed over the ship and the alien's body. This was the first clue that he had, that aliens had been here living in the earth for probably millions of years. When we think about being invaded by aliens, forget it. They're already here, and they have been here. They've been a part of our life since the beginning. The second time he told me...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the second time he told me about the alien contact was through the deep underground mountain bases with the Dulce, New Mexico.
Right, the Dulce firefight.
Right, the firefight. And he told me about that, how the men came down, and to me the number was like 21 people originally went down. Again, they're blasting holes, and suddenly they discover that there's a cavern already there. So they go down and explore what's going on there. And they find lizard aliens. Dracos is what he would call them. So they're big, tall, reptilian-looking. Yeah, they derive one of their happy drugs from us. So when they frighten us and we get the adrenaline going, yeah, that's like a drug to them. But then they eat our blood.
Really?
Yeah, they eat it. Yeah, they want our blood, and they eat our body parts. There was this
Is
big
that all of
giant
it?
bat.
Or certain ones?
Well, it sounded like the reptilian ones specifically.
Pause. Real quick. Didn't he say it was a 7-foot tall gray alien? Because she's saying it's a Draco reptilian, which makes sense, but I thought he said it was a gray. I'm going to have to go back, but I'm pretty sure he says that. It could have been a gray reptilian, I suppose. But at the same time, was it Hillary down there? Let me know in the comments.
We're doing this, and the Greys help them get people. So the Greys help abduct people, usually children.
Okay.
You know, there's a million
Damn.
children that disappear every day. I mean, every year in the United
Millions.
States. A million every year. But we only hear about a couple of. He said there were 7 types of aliens, and out of those, 2 were friendly that actually tried to help us. One of them looks very similar to us. They're a little larger.
This sounds
Can you feel
familiar,
that
right?
pulse?
Our media is telling us the
Said they
same
were from
thing.
the Pleiades.
Oh, the
So
Pleiades.
the aliens that were from the Pleiades looked more like us and were more friendly to us.
The Palladians. It's wild, man.
Best friends in the last 22 years have been murdered.
And unfortunately, Phil would be number 12. So back in 1995, Phil Schneider stood in front of a conference room of government officials and told them about a program that he was operating in that was paying him to build underground bunkers. So that's what makes this underground theory so intriguing. Back then, I don't think they were ready for the word to be out. It's probably a little bit more prevalent now. But at this conference, he said that he and the other contractors who were contracted to build these underground bunkers were getting ready to build and drilled into a place that was already inhabited. So he and some soldiers went down to see what was going on because they couldn't actually start drilling into the spot. And when they went underground, they actually ran into some non-human beings down there, in which some fighting ensued, and one of them kind of waved and shot off some type of laser, in which it actually severed Phil's chest open. It burned off his hand and fingers and burned off all his toes. So it was a strange encounter. After this event, once he came back up and he spoke to many people about what happened on the contract, he was starting to be pursued and things just went awry. After that, as you will see at the end of this video, lost his life.
January 17th, 1996. After not being seen for at least 5 days, Phil Schneider was found dead in his apartment by his landlord and a detective from the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. The autopsy report listed the cause of death as unknown, but it was later discovered that Phil was actually strangled by his own catheter hose. Was this a case of negligence or a cover-up?
Next, we're diving into someone who's kind of unknown. Michael Rockefeller. He was son of Nelson Rockefeller, and he wanted to be an explorer. They say Michael Rockefeller tragically died swimming to shore on an uncharted island. But did he? You be the judge. This is the story of Michael Rockefeller. So the audio got cut off on this, but I felt like it was dope, so I'm going to read it to you as we go. All right, here we go. Damn, it's fast. All right, ready, set, go. Did you know this is one of the most massive mysteries that still haunts the world to this day? 1961, Michael Rockefeller, heir to one of America's wealthiest families, vanished without a trace in New Guinea. Son of Nelson Rockefeller, he had everything, money, power, and prestige, but Michael wanted more. Wealth. He wanted more than wealth. He traveled down to a region searching for rare tribal artifacts, unique photographs, and November 19th, 1961, his boat capsized in rough waters. Michael looked at the distant shore and said, "I think I can make it." He jumped into the river and was never seen again. Massive search teams were deployed, planes, boats, helicopters, but no trace was found officially. Said he drowned. Whisperers told another story. Locals claim Michael had reached the island only to encounter Asmat tribe, known for ritualistic cannibalism. Decades later, found shocking testimony surfaced. Some villagers said Michael's body was used in ceremonial rites. Others say he chose to stay, abandoning his past to live among the Asmat. Today, to this day, no one knows, no one has evidence to found what really happened to Michael Rockefeller, drowning, cannibalism, or escape. More than 60 years later, the mystery remains unresolved. That was rough, bro. But Michael Rockefeller, obviously he was son to Nelson Rockefeller. Obviously he had influence, power, and, prestige. But Michael Rockefeller wanted to travel the island and get away from the money, and I'm sure it's really stressful being like surrounded by all that wealth, even though I would appreciate it. And I'm not trying to push my manifestations away.
Do you hear that? I hear money calling. Do you hear that? I hear money calling. Do you hear that? I hear money, and it's money calling me like cha-ching, cha-ching, yeah.
Bring the wealth. But at the same time, he wanted more. He wanted substance. And we see this a lot. Like when you look at the old cowboy and Indians movies, cowboys would get captured by Indians and end up living with them, like A Man Named Dog. That's a good movie. Dances with Wolves. That's a good movie. They always want to live that lifestyle once they feel it. It's almost like getting away from the pressures of our modern day society is so much more peaceful, and it's so much more meaningful. It makes me want to travel. It makes me want to go to Costa Rica, if that's wild enough, and live in the Amazon and just be alone with the people and the nature and just get away from all the electric rays that are going into our head, microwave ovens. Sorry, we got crazy there. The music was trying to overpower me. But really, people leave their lives a lot and want to live in nature. So I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Rockefeller chose to stay. But this story is wild, and if you have a weak stomach, just click like and go to the next video. Here we go.
Guinea, never to return. This is the mysterious tale of Michael Rockefeller, whose disappearance in 1961 became one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Born into incredible privilege as the son of New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller, Michael could have chosen a life of comfort and luxury. Instead, his heart pulled him toward adventure and anthropology. At just 23 years old, he set out on an expedition to collect primitive art from the Asmat people of Dutch New Guinea, now part of Indonesia.
Damn.
The fateful day began like any other. Michael and his companion, Dutch anthropologist René Wassing, were navigating the coastal waters in a small boat. Suddenly, their craft capsized. They found themselves stranded miles from shore. After hours of drifting, Michael made a decision that would seal his fate. "I think I can swim for it," he reportedly told Wassing. Those were his last known words. While Wassing stayed with the overturned boat and was later rescued, Michael Rockefeller was never seen again. The official cause of death was listed as drowning, but that's where the certainty ends and the speculation begins. Some believe he made it to shore only to encounter hostile tribesmen. Others suggest he fell victim to crocodiles in the shark-infested waters. The most controversial theory claims he actually reached the Asmat villages, where he met a darker fate at the hands of cannibals. Despite extensive searches funded by the powerful Rockefeller family, including aircraft sweeps and ships scouring the coastline, no definitive evidence of Michael's fate was ever found. His disappearance remains one of the most captivating mysteries involving an American heir, leaving us to wonder, what really happened to Michael Rockefeller in those remote waters of New Guinea? Sometimes, it seems, even unlimited wealth can't unlock the secrets of the jungle.
Down on the back of Michael's neck, another tribesman walked up and grabbed Michael's hair, pulled his head back, and used a knife to slash at his throat to actually remove his head. And then after his head was removed, again with all the chanting continuing in this circle the whole time, members of the tribe came up and began cutting Michael's body absolutely to pieces, separating his organs and his flesh and his bones into different piles, and then very quickly they got a fire going and cooked and ate Michael.
So that was one of the theories that I guess an eyewitness from the island reported. But personally, in my opinion, he looked like he had relationships with these people. There's a lot of photos with these tribes, and they could have been other tribes from other adventures he had. But at the same time, I feel like Michael just chose to stay. He could escape the shadow of his father, Nelson Rockefeller, and live as his own man. He probably found a nice Asmat wife who didn't wear a bra and was just loved him for him. the Weddle, the white boy that he was, right? He didn't have to impress anybody. He didn't have to, like, make his name known. He could have just lived and let his aura shine through. That's the story I like to believe, at least. Like, I think, personally, he just chose to stay. Dances with Wolves style. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But realistically, let me know in the comments what you think, and smash that subscribe. So today we covered 3 very important people: Andrew Dawson, Phil Schneider, and Michael Rockefeller. With this closure going on, I think it's important to honor men like this who lost their lives over something they believed that they saw. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And most importantly, I appreciate you sticking around to the end. Be sure to smash that like button, as it helps out the algorithm. This is J Tally Reacts, where we're decoding the simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. As always, I'm J Tally. This is J Tally Reacts, and we out.
Tally, Tally. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.